Hello, living in Boulder, vlog March 10th, 2019, Sunday, and it's like 5:40 something in the morning. Yeah, I was just working. I just lost 2 hours of work probably. I was working on my Google Earthing stuff, and then I noticed the cities in Italy. I didn't like how they were. Sometimes I have to do redos. It's not very often, but sometimes I do. And when I do redos, I save the original, and then I'll include that in my explanation of how I design my website and the decisions that I made between the two. Maybe even ask people what they prefer. But I have all of the towns of ancient Italy. There's like 300 or 400 or something, 400 cities, and that I have now. I know in ancient Rome it was about 1,500 or something like that, or more, 3,000, another, even more in Spain. But I read that in I think it was Momsen. But anyway, I traced the outlines of all the walls. So when you zoom out, you can see the walls, the exact size of the cities from space. And but they were too bright. I had them on thickness of 2 because I wanted to be able to see them from space. But it wasn't realistic looking when you zoom into it. It was just too glary and big, and so I had to move it to thickness of 1. And then I wanted to also change the body size, the inside size, to gray, to white, to give more contrast so it looks better. I think I was thinking about that before, but I decided on the bright because it was really important to me to be able to see far away. But then I realized you can see them enough far away anyway. So I had to change them, but my computer was really slow. I was using the other computer, but the other computer stopped working yesterday. My new computer, because it wouldn't zoom in to Google Earth. Even when I restarted the computer and reinstalled the new program on it twice, it started out by not being able to make the circles, and then after that, it wasn't able to zoom in. You couldn't see any detail when you get close, and then it wouldn't even do street zooming. So I just had to give up and move back to this computer. I moved away from this computer because it was too slow, but I moved back and I was doing it. But it was working really slow today. I took away all the different files, and I'm going to make it even smaller. I had it on a file called Roads of Italy, but I need to take just the cities out, just the cities. But so I had to just change the thickness of the walls from 2 to 1, and then I had to change the color. And when I hit the color, I had to wait like a good 10 seconds just for it to appear. It was ridiculous. So I got from like 400 to 150, and then oh shit, and I saved it. Thank God I saved it. I should have been saving it a lot sooner, frequently than that, but then I got to about 50, and the computer crashed. And then the thing came up and said, "Oh, Google Earth crashes. What do you want to do? Click OK or reopen." And I was like, "Oh shit, one of these." I think when you could reopen it, it doesn't save it. But it was one of the recommended, so I was like, "Okay, reopen." And it didn't bring anything back. And so then I opened it up, the file, and it didn't save it from where I was. So I think when I hit OK, that means where it brings it back saved, even if you didn't save it. Or maybe that was with my new Macintosh that it does that. Because Google Earth crashes with my new Macintosh too. But anyways, I figured that was about 2 hours of work. Because you're talking 100 different cities that I had to do. And then I had to wait. I had to go click 1, and then I had to go click and wait fucking 10 seconds. And then go chink. So maybe it was at least an hour. So I don't know if I have the energy to go back on it. I'm at 150. So I have to do 150 cities like that. Click. Think. 1. Click. 15 or 20 seconds, finally pops up. Click. And then click, and then save, and there you go. And sometimes I have to change the actual size of the cities because I got it wrong the first time. I had this weird idea, like the old city was on the top of the hill, and then the new city moved to the bottom of the hill. And I was like, that's just my speculation, So I changed that on a couple. So that's what I did for the second part of the day, because I wasn't expecting to do that. I just suddenly, because I got to the point on my, I have a file called Kingdom of Rome. And I got to a point on Kingdom of Rome that I wanted to include the cities, but so I was just going to, copy them off of my cities file of all the cities in Italy. And I think I have actually all the cities in the world as well, Europe. But I did all the cities in, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I have to do 150 down. Oh yeah, that's not what I was started with. Because I wanted to get all the cities in the cities in the Kingdom of Rome, so I copied them off the cities of Italy. But I just saw them and I went, oh shit, I don't want to like this. So when you have to copy something, you have to change them on Italy first, right? You don't want to do it twice. So, but you don't want to just change the ones that you're going to put into the Kingdom of Rome, because then you'll forget. And it's just better to just do it all at the same time. So I decided to go, fuck it, I'll just do all 400, and got most of the way through until the computer crashed. Sometimes I think the computer crashes if you hit the buttons too fast. I hit the yellow, the to change the color, and that didn't do anything, so I hit it again. I don't know. No, I think it just crashed when it wants to. But before that, I was trying, like yesterday, I said I was trying to do the aqueduct, find the actual courses of all the aqueducts and roads. And I was looking at the aqueducts and I was fixing some things. I was organizing files mainly, and because like way that I make stuff a lot of times, I just build it so fast, especially when the computer's working quickly. Like when the other computer was actually cooperating with me with Google Earth, that fucking piece of shit, brand new $3,000 Mac, absolutely refuses to work with Google Earth. It's like, I'm not going to zoom in. I'm not going to do Street View. Fuck it. I'm not going to make the circles. And you keep restarting the computer, restarting the program, installing a new program. It's got to move back to the old Macintosh. But the thing is, I had to open it up on Google Earth on that one or whatever the last time before I had to move back for it because it wasn't zooming in. It was making the circles again. So these fucking things have a mind of their own, man. They're more temperamental than a fucking woman on her period. So, I was doing that and trying to, do a little bit of tracing the places of the aqueducts and stuff. It's kind of hard. I was doing a lot of different things. I can't even remember what I was doing. So, tomorrow, I think I'll sleep a little bit tomorrow and get up tomorrow and just finish these fucking cities, which will take like half the goddamn day because this fucking thing's so slow. I'm going to cut just the cities out so it's the smallest file I can get. And then go back to those aqueducts and just hammer away. Once I know the course of the aqueducts on the roads, I'm done with the thinking. There's no more critical thinking that I have to do. And then I can switch back into the just mindless drooling, creating the aqueducts and the wide part of the aqueducts. And then, I was also doing rivers, gorged rivers. There's all these gorges in Rome, above Rome. I don't know how they got that deep, but I was building the rivers inside of them so that you can see how deep they are, because you can't see the rivers when you're coming up on them. Then you can see, it gives you the perspective of how actually deep they are when you draw something in there. And so I was doing that for a while, and there's lots of those. So just a lot of work. Listening. I got this new book called How Democracy Dies by a woman. I can't remember her name, but I want to read because I had a credit on Audible. I want to read Julia Prin's book also about the bankers, because what I want to do is read these books. I read this other book by Jane Mayer a few months ago. I want to read those books and I'm going to write down. Because you know how good I am with the websites. Once I'm done, like my idea, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a web page and just make lists. I'm all about lists. I'm going to make a timeline list of all the dirty dog deeds that those piece of shit billionaires have been doing. Those new right wingers, the Koch and Henry Bird and the guy from 1850, all those dudes. That's one thing. But I think my main talent, just that now that I'm talking about that stuff, I think the thing that sets me apart from other people mentally one thing is my work ethic, my desire to sacrifice my whole life to work on something my entire life just to build big things, and I'll quit something to start something else, so it just keeps going on and on. But that's just a work ethic. Like any idiot can do what I do. It's just a work ethic. But if you're talking about what sets me apart in my mind and my brain, I think it's my ability to explain how greedy assholes are stupid in a way that even they can understand. Because you just take them seriously, and you just take apart every single thing they say, and you bring the historical context to all these idiot things that they say, and then you just tear them apart, man. So, and I want to do that because I looked at my analytics, and I couldn't see what percentage, because neither of my computers are connected to the internet. This fucking piece of shit computer, the thing that won't do the Google Earth, brand new $3,000 Mac that I got just a couple months ago, It wasn't connecting to the internet. I have gigabit internet. Sometimes at night I can't connect to the internet in either computers, so I don't know. But just off the top of my head, if I went to analytics on Google, it's probably like 90% of the people are like at least 10 years younger than me. The biggest group is 25 to 34, and then the second biggest group is uh, uh, 24 to 35. Um, wait, 35 to 44 is the biggest group. No, 25 to 35 is the biggest group. And then 25 to 35 is the second biggest group. And then right after that is 18 to 24, unless it's girls. And then 18 to 24 is the second biggest group. So, and what's weird, I get exactly 66.66% male. It's like exactly double. Exactly. It's so freaking weird. It used to be exactly 85%, and now on my YouTube, but now on my website it's just 66.6. It's like double. It's like so weird. Like there has to be some kind of explanation for that, sociological explanation, psychological explanation, to make it double. Like, but anyway, because there's most of the people are so young, that means that I have power with the young people, and I think if a young person, see, there's certain power that I have with young people being an old person. One of those powers is if I were to suddenly get into like endurance sports and kick everybody's ass, it would mean a lot more if I'm older than if I'm younger, because people don't expect me to be physically capable as an older person. But another thing that I can do that I have power is it's a set by example. If I can make a really good explanation of why being a wealth discrepancy person is the best and an oligarchical, like autocratic person is the best and democracy is bad. If I can explain that in the way that anybody who reads it has to agree with you, or if you're against you, you're scared shitless of you because they don't want to debate you, then I have done my job on this planet. Like that's my number one. And it doesn't even have to be that long. You can make something maybe 25, 30 pages or something, It doesn't have to be that long. So I think that's where I think I have superpowers, like mutant superpowers. I'm a writer. That's what I am. I'm a writer. Even though there's no writing on my website, I guess I'm a writer, but that's one of the things I do. The other thing I am is I'm a worker. So I just sacrifice my entire life away on Google, stuff like Google Earthing, Rome. But I can get done by April 21st on the birthday of Rome. My Rome is going to be at an over the hill. Okay, it's going to be bombing of Dresden stage. It's too late. It's going to be the fat lady has sung. It's over. I'm just about to fucking take over the world. That's basically how it's going to be going down in about 1 month. Or no, April 21st. Because, there's going to come a time where I'm going to get into tying up stage, and I'm going to realize that tying loose ends stage is actually a much smaller, less time-consuming stage than the actual building of the stage. So it'll just come together. I'm going to make Google Earth, and I'm going to make videos of Google Earth Rome. Rome is the eternal city. And then, of course, I have a whole philosophy about Rome. I don't want to talk about it too much because I've already talked too long already today. But Rome has certain... They call it the gods of Rome, the genius of Rome. Rome has the blessing of world domination. So if you can tap in to the what Rome is, and then you can basically absorb that God and take it forward and take over the world. Some of the weird some of the things that I'll say about Rome really quickly: symmetry. What else? Huge vision. Obviously everybody knows that the thing that brought Rome down was slavery. But that's where we're at now. Like if you're going to think of the world society as the continuation of the city of Rome, then you would consider that we're at the stage of world society where we get rid of slavery. We're not completely rid of slavery. Like indentured servitude or what, low minimum wage. That's fucking slavery. In 100 years, people are going to look back at people who have to work all day, every day for not much money as basically slaves. Okay. And people who sit around on their fat asses and don't ever work and like fly around to the other side of the world just for a birthday party with your friend who flew over there on the other side of the world because they own land all over the place because they're too rich, don't know anything to do with it, don't know what to do with all their money. Those people are going to look basically just as evil as the slave owners and the rapists and the murderers of, abusers of ancient Rome. Same. It's the same thing. It's pretty much. I'm talking. It's the same thing from the perspective of people from the future. Obviously, from our perspective, it's much better to have to work all day, rotting your mind away, going crazy and insane and out of shape, than to get whipped in the past. But still, I mean, that's a form of death. That's a form of murder, is to give somebody so little money that they have to do, they just have to work all day, every day, So that's what motivates me to never leave my room and just continue with doing things that I think are essential to get to the next level of society, I think to other people they seem kind of abstract, but that's good because that means I don't have any competition. It's not going to be like April 21st comes around and oh look, I'm not going to be done until May 21st, but oh look, somebody on April 21st fucking Google Earth Rome instead of me, and it's like, oh my God, why did I do it? I'm super freaked out about that. Like, I see stuff that needs to be done, but the time period for me starting on that project to me finishing that project is so long. It's in a matter of years that some big business could come in and fucking poach me or do something, build Rome instead of me. And then I just blew 2 years of my life on nothing, but it's really pretty low, not likely. I mean, even if somebody were to do that, I guarantee you their job would not be as good as mine. I get more and more of a perfectionist as the years and months go on, and it kind of makes stuff time consuming, but it'll make the job good in the end. So that's like my longest vlog I think ever on this new channel. So anyways, I had to talk a lot because I was super frustrated about my computer crashing. I did that a few days ago. My computer crashed and I lost a bunch of work, and I was like, so I did a video that day at 2 a.m. That was the earliest I ever did a video. Okay, so enough talking, later.